All right, I do believe we're live.
I think we are live.
I think we are live. Guys, we're going live today. Welcome to the third annual Hang with Hot Rod show. I'm Hot Rod. You guys know that. I've got a new co-host with me.
Manny.
This is Manny. Guys, everyone, welcome to Manny. Excellent in football, excellent in all sports, but we're going to be just doing football as usual right now. This week, we're going to be going over the, for those of you that don't know what the show is about, we give you the picks, we give you against the spread, we give you the winners. Games, over-unders, NFL. We pick 5-6 games, we pick the best ones that we think are going to be highlight games for the week. I'll also be putting out, as usual, on Twitter and Instagram, I'll be putting out my parlays and on college, NFL, all that. I'm hanging with Hot Rod on Twitter, so you guys look for those. Last year, I was 86-50. Now, this is Manny's first year, so he doesn't have a record to go by, but I can guarantee you guys he knows his stuff. And as always, I always forget to start the timer, so we'll get that started. That's just normal stuff.
Maybe like intro.
A minute, yeah, that's what happens. My best bets last year were 25-12. So, that's basically what our show is about. We got a few segments that from the years past that we do where Junkyard Jerry, who is one of the best handicappers in the country, will be calling in. He won't be doing that today, unfortunately, but that's okay. He's out of town. We do have the mush pick, though, which you guys all that have been with me before, the mush pick, he cannot pick a winner, so you go opposite and you're guaranteed to win. It's just one of the good things to do. Best bets, we'll be giving them at the end, and again, Twitter and Instagram, you guys want to check those out. Sponsors, we still got the same sponsors as last year. We're very lucky to have these guys. GraphTex gives us all our merchandise, the Hang with Hot Rod shirts. We're going to have hats, we're going to have sweatshirts, we're going to have all that stuff coming. It's going to be on their website shortly, but we'll get that this year. Gators, again. Gators is a great sponsor. They'll be giving us pizzas and food to taste each week, which is excellent. Central City Bar and Grill, Grotnev Liquor, Homer Hops, and Elm Tree Golf Course is all our sponsors. And we're going to be adding some new ones this year, I guarantee it. So let's just get right into it. We're going to be giving our picks. So I know we're live, but my son is going to tell me how we sound here. So let's just do this while we're here.
Small shout out to the 3 viewers that we have.
The 3 viewers, nice. We had 11 max last year, so we're already almost there. That's excellent.
We lost one.
That's okay.
They didn't like the shout out.
They didn't like it. They didn't like the shout out, but that's okay.
They didn't like the
It happens. So Thursday, we've got the Dallas Cowboys versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay won the whole thing last year. They are solid. The line started at 7.5. It went up to 8. The over/under is 51.5. This game is interesting to me. Well, of course it's interesting because it's the first game of the season, and I'm so excited for football to be back. And hopefully it goes off without a hitch. We don't have any problems with the big C word. I'm not going to say it. And knock on wood, everything goes good. Everyone's healthy, and we have a great season because football. I love football, love, and so do you guys. But in any case, let's get into Dallas. Dallas, they have the opportunity, in my opinion, to be really good or really bad. And what I'm going with there is Dak. Yeah, it is with Dallas. It is.
Either they're really good.
They're really bad. I got you. Dak's injury is, in my opinion, Dak's injury from last year when he broke his ankle, which was unbelievably bad luck. He was having a great season up to that point. That's a tough injury to come back from. He looks healthy. If you guys watch Hard Knocks on HBO, they did it with Dallas this year. He looks good. He did strain his shoulder during the throwing shoulder. So they held him out from preseason. But the word that I've got, he's back, he's healthy. If he remains healthy, Dallas is a very good team. Of course, they got Zeke, one of the best running backs, so they give him the ball. I said this for years.
They preserved him, though. They didn't play him in the preseason.
They didn't play him a lot. But if you give Zeke the ball and run, Zeke, you're going to be good no matter what. But they don't do it all the time. Receivers are excellent for Dallas. They got CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to be a great player this year. Amari Cooper is good.
They lost Gallup, though.
They did lose Gallup. But as far as everything goes, the big question for Dallas is the defensive line. Linebackers are good. We'll see what happens with Dallas.
Yeah, the pass defense isn't so great.
It isn't. So
I think my one concern, though, is Dak hasn't thrown since last year.
That is a big concern.
And now you're going to be facing
Tampa Bay. You got that right. Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. This is what I think speak about Tampa Bay. Fuck Brady. Sorry, I don't like Tom Brady. Never have, never will. If you like Brady, that's okay. That's just this is my
I'm
opinion.
alright with Brady. I'm a Giants fan, okay?
Oh, wow.
07.
You did beat him twice.
12, baby.
You beat
Let's
him
go.
twice. You beat him
Woo!
twice. I like it. I like it.
You know,
That's-
Eli Manning.
Listen, I'm a used to a fan, as you know, but when they beat anybody that beats the Patriots like that, they got my. I'm a Giants fan. No problem with that. But I give Tom Brady his due. Guy's been around forever, done it all. Probably the best quarterback ever. I can't believe I said that. I threw it in my mouth a little bit. But
I'm wondering where are the teams that refuse to pick him up. Remember that famous quote that he said? He was just like,
yep.
"You gonna stick with those guys?"
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what
Oh, yeah.
were the teams that he was looking at that refused to pick him up.
You got that
They
right.
didn't
Well,
put that out.
he has a little list. He's one of those. He's like the Jordans, and they got a little list to motivate
And
themselves.
Those games
and-
specifically,
Yep,
just
absolutely.
Yeah.
So with Tampa Bay, anyway, very solid offense, very solid defense. They won the whole thing. From everything that everybody's talking about, they're clicking even better now because they had a
Of
year.
course.
Last year was their first year they were together, and they won the whole damn thing. So everybody's picking Tampa. That's the easy pick. I'm definitely not picking Tampa to win the whole
I'll
thing.
pick. Well, no, I'm not picking Tampa to win the whole thing.
But as far as this game goes,
I
I think you and I are on the same page.
I would say over
yeah.
51 though.
I think there's going to be some points scored. I think Tom Brady probably just steps right into it, and it's like a 35-25, or
I'm going for 42 to 27.
yeah. So either way, we're both over. Both
Yeah.
got Tampa on that one. So that's our first pick on Thursday. We're off and running. I love it. All right, Sunday. First game that we picked on Sunday, of course, we've got Pitt. There's some really good games this week, too. And the other thing that I noticed is there's a line. There's really high lines. Whenever you get the 7+ lines, be careful because the NFL, even the bad teams, aren't honestly that bad. And in the beginning of the season, defenses will keep the games closer. Offenses need a few weeks to click. So it's not so much.
Really trust Jared Goff.
Well, okay.
In my opinion.
Well, I got you.
Only because he had weapons with the Rams, and
I got you.
what were they doing?
I got you.
What were they doing?
No,
That's just my.
I know that's not a bad. I
I think
understand.
Matthew Stafford is definitely a better fit with the Rams. We'll get there.
We
We'll
will.
get to that match.
I get you. I get
want
you
to
there.
say before we move on, though,
Yeah.
I think the only reason why the Bucks might score at least over 30 points is because their offensive line is back. Every single one of them.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they're full on healthy, and with a Tom Brady,
Yep.
work ethic. I don't know. I just don't see the Cowboys really
I don't either, but if
showing out.
if see, football to me is easy. It's the offensive line, defensive line. That's what wins games. And if you have a running back the quality of Ezekiel Elliott, give him the ball.
Oh no,
and
of course.
two things happen. The Tampa can't score when you have the ball, and your defense stays fresh at least a little bit. Any case, I digress. So we both got Tampa in that game anyway. But if you were smart, Dallas, give Zeke the ball. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. So Sunday we got Pittsburgh, my Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Everyone around here loves the Buffalo Bills, and I get it because we're in Buffalo territory. The line right now is 6.5, which is outrageously high, and 48.5 is the over/under. Pitt. Let's just go over Pitt real quick, and I could do this for all day, but I'm going to do it quick. Ben being healthy is a big one. He came in underweight, which is great.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. He came in about 20 pounds underweight. He's really.
Shout out to Big Ben.
He did well. The big thing for Pittsburgh this year, which was the best thing in a few years, I'm so happy, is we got Najee Harris, the running back out of Alabama. The guy is an absolute stud. If you guys know who Derrick Henry is, he is a carbon copy but faster. He catches the ball out of the backfield. I think Najee Harris is going to break a lot of records this year. Now, that being said, the offensive line for Pittsburgh was one of the worst last year, so everybody's like, oh my goodness, oh my God, what's Pittsburgh going to do? Well, they can only go up. The receivers all came back. Juju took a cut. Yeah, Juju took a cut. He came back. So all the receivers, we got Claypool, we got Deontay Johnson, Ebron, we got a new Fryermouth, the Penn State tight end. Excellent. James Washington. Our receiving and offensive crew is excellent this year. And defense is the top five. The defense is the top five defense.
Has always been stubborn.
Now, a little caveat to that, though. We are in the midst of a little problem, and I was hoping I was going to be able to break it on today's show. T.J. Watt has a contract negotiation going on. He is sitting out until the contract negotiation gets
Sign the man.
signed. Yes.
Pay him.
Pay the man.
I never understand that. If a player shows what he is capable of,
He is the,
why
one
is
of the
there
best.
any contract negotiations? Pay the man.
Pay the man.
Pay the man.
He is one of the best NFL defensive players out there. It's just not even a question. So if they get that done this week, if TJ is not in the game, that is a big problem. I don't know how to make that, but so you just pay attention to that. Buffalo, Josh Allen, unbelievable. Stephon Diggs, one of the best receivers.
Really well last year.
Defense is excellent. Defensive line is their Achilles heel at this moment. So if Najee Harris can get off the ball and run, and we'll see what happens. I definitely think it stays within the 6.5. I think Pittsburgh wins the game, but
I
I
think
always think
Pittsburgh's
that.
secondary is going to have a problem with Stephon Diggs.
Oh, they did last year, so they probably will again this year. But I got Pat. Who do you like in this one, bud?
Unfortunately, I'm actually going to go against you on this
I
one.
don't. That's all right.
I'm going to pick the Bills only because I think the Bills had a stronger season last
Oh
year.
God, yeah.
And, Josh Allen is well rested. Right? Is it Josh Allen?
Yeah, it is Josh, and he is a.
I don't want to get the name.
No, that's
There's
all right.
two Allens in the league right now.
We get names wrong all the time.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen's got one of the strongest arms, and he's one of those young quarterbacks. Buffalo's going to be good for years to come, and that's a good thing. So, all right, so we got the Bills. I got the Steelers. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about, but he's new. It's fine.
I think it's going to be an offensive matchup.
It should be.
It's going to be,
I think points are going to score.
of course.
Yeah, I think so. Even though both defenses are excellent, I think they're going to be able to score. All right, so Sunday at 4 o'clock, we're doing the. I hate the Browns. Browns versus Kansas City. Kansas City was in the Super Bowl last year. It fell a little short, but that just happens. They've got. We all know what Kansas City brings to the table. They've got offensive weapons everywhere. Mahomes is one of those most dynamic quarterbacks of all time.
Their rush defense is not that good.
It isn't, and the Browns
And the
got
Browns have
good.
two, not one,
Yep,
two.
they got two.
Have
So-
a dynamic duo in the backfield with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
So that is an excellent point. If the Browns can control the running game, that's a whole different story as far as this game goes. We'll see what happens. It's going to be the points are going to be scored. Baker Mayfield is coming into his zone. He's got some offensive weapons. The defense has to come up and try to stop the run. So if Baker can be accurate, they can get, they're going to have one-on-one coverage. So those things, I'm going with KC because I hate the Browns. It's -6, and so it's only a touchdown. I can see that being a close game, and then KC scoring at the end and covering. I just see that that's the way that's going to work.
By I think 9.
Okay.
7-28 is going to be the score.
That's
That's
not,
mine.
I like that.
I want to give the Browns, a couple of points. Give the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. is coming
Well,
back.
That's a big.
Landry.
Yep.
And then your running backs. And let's just say Myles Garrett. Maybe.
Well, Myles Garrett, other than him taking his helmet off and hitting my quarterback a couple years ago, I like Myles Garrett because he's one of the best defenders. There's no doubt about it. He's an absolute beast. Him and Chase Young from Washington are the two. TJ Watt, but those guys are just they're massive. All right, so we're both on KC on that one. That's fine. We're going to go to the Sunday night game. We got the Bears versus the Rams.
That's going to be interesting.
And 7.5 point spread for the Rams, favored 44 and a hook. We got some new things going on with both these teams.
Yeah.
So we've got Matt Stafford coming into the Rams.
That's a blessing.
I think that's a huge. He's
That's
got
a
a great.
blessing.
I've always been a Matt Stafford fan.
Yeah. I think that makes, for me, I think that makes the Rams a sleeper team. Because
yes.
everyone's wondering, what they're going to do, but it's just like Matthew Stafford was consistently, every season, putting up numbers with the Lions.
Oh yeah, and
Now
getting
you're
killed.
Now you're getting killed. Now you're jumping into a team that has a
They got good
offensive
receivers.
line,
Yep.
a great defensive line with Aaron Darnold,
Oh my goodness.
and then you have great receivers.
Yep. So that's a great
Yeah,
situation.
it's a
for
great
him.
mix, And I
Yeah.
think Matthew
Rams
Stafford's
are a
really
sleeper
going to show us what he's about.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. And
But
so now let's go to the Bears a little
Go to
bit.
the
So
Bears,
so they've got a whole new situation going on too. They've got Andy Dalton coming in. He's going to be a starter, but waiting in the wings is a great quarterback, Justin Fields from Ohio State. They're saying if they just start off slow by week 3 or 4, Justin Fields should be in. The guy's dynamic. But Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton started, so let's not talk about Justin Fields at the moment.
Well, I want to say that I think Justin Fields might get even some playing time in the first game.
You might be right.
I don't see
You might be
Andy
right.
Dalton surviving.
That's a good one.
I just don't see him surviving. No offense, but when he was in the Cincinnati Bengals, it was just like, Dalton, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're not really playing that well. Obviously, offensive lines are different.
Yes,
But as a player, I think they're going to see Justin Fields in the first game, maybe for at least one quarter.
I tell you what, I can't argue any of that logic, and because. And I always, if they're going to go, if that's the case, I would just start with Justin Fields, if that was me, and just go through the bumps.
Yeah.
But, and then you got Andy Dalton as a backup, which that's not a horrible backup. In any case, I think the Bears running game, I think the Bears defense, even though we're both pretty high on the Rams and the new quarterback, Matthew Stafford, it's going to take a little time for them to get together. I don't think, you just can't come in and just boom, everything's perfect. So there's going to be some bumps. In my opinion, there's going to be a few bumps and bruises. I don't think the Rams lose this game. I think the Bears just stay within 7.5. 28, 24. It could be 27-20, and they still cover. So,
I consider it a close game. I got them at 31-27.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see, and the Bears' running game isn't horrible. They got a couple good running backs.
Montgomery's a great running
Yeah,
back.
and the defense is good. Khalil Mack. That anytime you got him on the field, he's excellent. Any case, so we both got the Bears in that one. So, Manny, we must have did a little cheating, and we only got one game off so far. All right, so now we're on to the Monday night game. Another AFC team, AFC North team, the Baltimore Ravens, and versus the Raiders. Ravens are minus 4.5 and 51. Baltimore's the AFC North, in my opinion, is the best division of football right now. You got the Steelers, the Browns, and obviously the Baltimore Ravens, and then you got Cincinnati, which we're not talking about right now. But I think those four teams, they're all if you take top to bottom, I think we have the best talent. It's the toughest team. Whatever team comes out of this division is going to be beat up and bruised going into the playoffs, unfortunately, and that's just what happens. But let's get back on Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is. I've always called him. He's a running back playing quarterback. I've never been impressed with his arm. He can throw the ball. He can get into some good areas. What happens with running quarterbacks, and it's just always happened, the first couple of years they're very successful because defenses don't know how to play him. Then they figure him out, and Lamar Jackson is just waiting to get hurt. I never wish that on anybody other than Tom Brady. But Lamar Jackson, he's a running back playing quarterback. They did have a problem. Dobbins is out for the year. He got hurt in preseason. They're going with Gus Edwards. So he's excellent. He's the beast. He's the beast.
Great back.
And then I got other news, Steeler fans. They just signed Le'Veon Bell. So that's bullshit. But in any case, Le'Veon Bell is now Baltimore Raven. It just happened yesterday. And then Baltimore's defense is always good. That's always the case. So that's they're the same old Baltimore team. If Lamar Jackson stays healthy and runs around, they're going to be hard to beat. Raiders. Derek Carr's quarterback. They've got one of the best tight ends. Actually, I think he's the number 2 tight end, in my opinion, Waller. Probably a little behind Kelsey, just a little bit ahead of Kittles. But in any case, all three of them are awesome. If you have them on fantasy, you're very lucky. You got Jacobs as a running back.
Aguilar's injured, correct?
Yes. So the Raiders, can run the ball, and they can, and if they just manage the ball, that's their best bet. We'll see what happens. Defensively, now I think I've already screwed up. Khalil Mack plays for the Raiders. He doesn't play for the team that I just.
No. Khalil Mack got traded from the Raiders to the Bears.
That is, thank you.
I will always say that was the biggest mistake that the Raiders could have done.
So I just started off.
Why would you lose?
We're 17 minutes in, and it's my first mistake. That's not bad. That's
not
probably a record for me. Usually I make a mistake way before that. So the defense for the Raiders is okay. It's not great. We'll see what happens. I just think Baltimore grinds it out. 4.5 isn't enough to. I think they'd beat them by more than that. 28-21.
I said 23-16.
It could be. That sounds like a very reasonable number.
The defense keeps the Raiders down.
That's a reasonable number.
And I'm always going to say that I think Lamar Jackson is always going to be the wild card.
I like that.
You don't know what you're going to get from him.
I like that.
As soon as you can try to sack him, you can always run.
Oh my God! Well, he's so fast.
Now having the Le'Veon Bell. Not adding that, just realize that
that's huge. No, that's huge. That's huge. And they've got really good receivers. Brown, I want to say Marquise Brown, is that his name? Mm-hmm. He's unbelievable. And I just don't keep up with Baltimore that much because I just hate him. Because the same with Cleveland, same with Patriots. I just hate them. Well, that's what it is. So I'm on Baltimore. I believe you are too. Yeah, I think 4.5 isn't enough to go from there. All right, so those are our picks for the week. The other thing that we want to throw in there is the mush pick of the week. He took Atlanta, and this is how unprepared I am. I don't even know. Atlanta is playing. We're gonna have to look it up.
We're gonna
look it up. Everybody, someone, we got nobody talking to us, so that's okay. Mushpick is taking Atlanta, so it really doesn't matter. Whoever.
They are playing the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, that is a mush pick. I don't see the Falcons beating the Eagles.
I don't know. I got Calvin Ridley in fantasy, and I'm hoping he has a big year, but we'll see. Because Juju Julio Jones went to Tennessee.
Yeah, I forgot about that
Tennessee's going to be a real good team this year.
Under the rock.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, listen, we're just starting. This is the new, our new show.
Falcons are definitely not winning.
I don't know.
I don't see them.
I don't know. Matty Ice can either light it up or he can have not a good.
Yeah, lighting it up has not been his thing lately.
No. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, that was excellent. Those are our picks, guys. You want to definitely take those. I jumped all over it, but do you have any other picks that stand out this week? If you don't, it's all right. If we talk about those certain games, but if there's something else that stands out to you, feel free to jump in and give your pick on those two. We will be getting some college picks as some big games come out, but that's later in the season. So this year, one of the things that I'm just throwing this at you, AFC, NFC, what teams do we think are going to make the playoffs?
I'm the Giants.
Listen, they're in the division.
Right.
Danny Dimes, when you know what? If Barkley, he's one of the best running backs in the NFL, and he got injured, which is horrible.
But they have Gallup now.
Yeah.
So I think having a solid wide receiver behind.
I agree.
Who else do we have?
Oh, you've got
Jesus Christ.
Sterling Sharp. No, the Sharp.
Yeah, they have Shepard.
Shepard.
Yep.
Shepard. Jeez, the third mistake. In any case, so we'll do NFC first. So I think Tampa obviously is going to be there in the playoffs. We both talked about the Rams. I think for some reason the Bears in that division. I don't think the Saints. I don't think Minnesota. I don't think. I don't. Well, you see, this is where there's so many teams. So, in any case, so this is what I'm thinking. I think Washington because their defense. I think the Bears for some reason are going to break out. Don't know why.
Yeah.
I think Seattle in their division possibly.
Seattle's
Russell
Seattle's
Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks.
I just feel like
You like your Giants?
I feel like the Saints have always had a strong team. And I understand
They
that
do.
Drew Brees isn't there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to just say, oh yeah, Jameis Winston come in and help us out. But Jameis Winston was the backup quarterback and he was around the team
Yes.
for a season already. So hopefully the chemistry's there. And he throws as much touchdowns as he does interceptions. That's the
I
only
tell you what, he does.
But the one thing we do know is that he does have an arm
He does.
and he can launch it.
And he used one of the a couple years ago where they found out he needed contact or something, which was hysterical because he couldn't
So
tell.
he was blindly just throwing the ball.
He was it's totally unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So in any case, so we're off on a couple of them, but not too many. I mean, you're thinking your Giants, which I wouldn't. That division's tough. I mean, there's no front runner. Giants, Dallas, Washington, Philly. I mean, there's nobody that jumps right out at you like, whoa, this team's going to kill it. So any team can come out of that one. In the AFC, of course, I'm going to take my Pittsburgh Steelers. You got the Browns and Baltimore right there. I think it's a three-team race. We're going to see what happens. And injuries. Injuries is definitely going to be the main reason who gets out of that division. KC, I absolutely think, I don't think anybody's going to mess with KC.
Even if they have injuries, people always step up.
Yeah, I got you.
On their team, people always step up.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll see what happens. And KC, I think, is a definite lock for the playoffs. Tennessee, no one's well.
Tennessee,
We're a team.
I think Tennessee is
Definitely
scary.
Scary good.
Ridiculous.
Dude, now that they got Julio Jones and Tannehill is lighting it up, and you got Derrick Henry. The guy's an absolute beast. I think Indy potentially in that division, and of course Buffalo, with maybe a chance for Miami might sneak into some talk. New England's got a new quarterback this year. I don't know how well that works. I've never seen a rookie quarterback.
I don't think they should have ever gotten rid of Cam Newton.
I don't know. It's a whole weird thing.
At least kept him there.
It's a
maybe
weird
some veteran.
Yep.
Veteran walkthrough.
I don't disagree.
Get comfortable because I felt like before Cam Newton had before the COVID situation, Cam Newton looked like he was his old self.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And you need a few years to, and with that system they got is definitely, it's not a gunslinger system. So he's, you had to try to get into that role.
Yeah.
But going all in with Mac Jones, that's fine. That's what they did. But name a rookie that's ever come into the NFL and has had a monster year and taken the team. Now I can name one, and it's just because I know this. Ben Roethlisberger, his rookie year, went 15-1. Wasn't because of Ben. It was because of the defense and it was because of the running game. They wouldn't let Ben throw the ball more than 10 times a game that year. So even though they went 15-1, he was part of it, but it wasn't because of Ben. So can Mac Jones duplicate that? I don't think so. And I couldn't. You know, you can name all the good quarterbacks. You got, you know, Troy Aikman was like 1-15. Peyton Manning went 0-16, I think, his first year. You can go down all the list of all the great quarterbacks. Their rookie season, you don't jump into the NFL and dominate. Not a quarterback anyway. Never happens.
For you, Trevor Lawrence.
It just won't happen. Hey, I like to see
we
it.
also don't know. See, that's another thing. So I like the combination of Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Because our coach.
Yep. The Ohio State coach from our name, Irvine. There you go. Yep, he's there.
I don't know. I feel like just having the collegiate chemistry within your coach and your quarterback makes it all the better.
Very good point.
And they also have Minshew.
Yes. Well, no, Minshew just got traded.
What is going on? Bleacher Report. You're not sending me notifications fast enough.
Minshew is gone.
Where is he now?
Yeah, that's it. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that. I know Minshew's gone. You got to look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
Minshew is at. My son will probably text me in 2 seconds. Goes, Dad, how can you not know this?
Here we go, and he is. Oh, he's on the Eagles.
He's on the Eagles.
Whoa!
How about that?
Okay.
So Atlanta's got
that's not a. Yeah, nah. Atlanta's not winning.
Yeah.
That mush pick was a great.
Great first pick. In any case, I want to thank our sponsors again. We got GraphTex, we've got Gators, we've got Central City Bar and Grill, Groton Ave Liquors, and I know I'm forgetting somebody, but that's okay. And there's my son. Let's see. Let's see what he says. That Philly, thank you. Yeah, we already looked it up. You a little late there, son. And Homer Hops. And we'll be looking to get some other sponsors as we go along. We will be, I'm not sure if we're going to go live all the time. We're just testing this out right now to see how this goes. We're going to download this to YouTube. And also, again, look for my Twitter account. I will be giving you college parlays, pro parlays, everything like that. Now, how parlays work, I know most of you guys know how parlays work, but that's where you get better odds. You bet more than 3 games. You have to win all 3. If you lose one, you lose the whole parlay. But if you bet, like, I usually give out 6-7 game parlays. So if you put $10 down, you're going to win $600-700. Very difficult to do. Parlays are what they say are sucker bets because it's so hard to win 1 game against the spread. It's hard to win 6 in a row.
There's some parlays.
Yeah, and then there
specific things need to happen in the game.
Oh,
and they happen.
It's
just like
yeah, you got that right.
Even when it comes down to the first touchdown, the first throw, the first sack.
Yep.
I don't even know. You could probably just say Tom Brady's gonna have 4 touchdowns.
Yep. You can bet all that.
2 interceptions, and he's gonna get sacked twice, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire. I don't like.
That's what we're here for.
Hey, look, if that happens, just
just
I call it first on the line. Just say
remember the small guys. Hey, well, for the first show, Manny's gonna be here all year. This is gonna work out great. You know, the chemistry's always been there. I've met him a few times. I appreciate you being here, my friend. And we will absolutely. So we're gonna download to YouTube in the weeks coming. We'll be doing the show on Wednesdays, and we're gonna go from there. So I say thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me.
We're out. Yeah, brother, you're in.
See you next week.
That's absolutely. All right. So then we